As we lay out kind of our plan for the new year, you kind of have to identify your skincare goals and then how to kind of build a habit around it. Having SMART goals, so SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And we'll go through them really quickly. So let's start with the S, the specific goal, getting specific. You want to define precisely the change you want to see in your skin. For example, instead of saying, I want to reduce the look of lines and wrinkles, you want to say, I want to reduce the look of lines around my mouth or around my nose or the wrinkles on the sides of my eyes or on my forehead. Go ahead and write down what it is specifically that you want to address. I know there are a lot to choose from. And you can just put them all down if you want, but be sure that you write them down, because later when we set up kind of how we're going to do this and how we're going to set up our regimen, you're going to be able to track those things, and you're really going to be able to see, are the products or the devices that you're using working on the areas that you've identified. All right, the M, measurable progress. You want to identify quantifiable markers for progress. So one of the things you could do is decide at different time points when you want to assess your results. You can just take pictures at day 0 before you start your regimen, and then decide maybe 30 days, 45 days, 60 days, 90 days, whatever you want to do, and take pictures at those time points. In doing that, you can see if the things you're doing are working. You can also say, I want to look in the makeup mirror every week and assess whatever it is you're looking at. Okay, the A in our SMART goals is achievable. So having achievable steps is basically breaking down your goal into smaller steps so that they're actionable and you can manage them. For example, if you decide to start using a serum or a retinol product and you decide that you are willing to do that every day or every morning or every other night, when you do that and you achieve that, that's an achievable step. It's hard to get there unless you put things into practice that are going to help you get there. I hope that helps. Okay, moving on to the R. So relevance to you. You want to make sure that whatever it is you're doing aligns with your goals. Do those products meet the needs to address that problem? That's, I guess, the relevant aspect of, are you choosing the right product? Another example would be if you want something that's collagen boosting to diminish the look of these lines or these lines or these lines, I might say, I want to use skincare products that do that. I might choose a device that helps do that. And then T is time bound. It could be, I want to review my photos in 8 weeks and see my lines and wrinkles around my nose or mouth diminished. And that's kind of different than measurable, because measurable is how you're doing it along the way and taking pictures along the way so that you can measure if you're advancing towards your goal. And it doesn't have to be rigid. It just kind of gives you an idea of what we're talking about and how you can assess the products you're using and the frequency and if they're working for the things that you want them to work on. Once you kind of have your SMART goals and you know the things that you want to work on, then you have to figure out, how do I get there? How do I manage how often I use them? And, how am I going to see results? This is where the tool comes in that I created that I think is going to be helpful because I use it myself. It's a habit tracker. This is for you to use however you wish. And the way I use it is to organize the different products I'm using so that I can keep track daily of what I'm doing, so that at the end of each week, I know I wanted to do the Nira every night and morning, but I actually only did it 3 nights and 4 mornings, or what have you. That's just an example. I'll put the tracker up here because mine's a mess. But for example, if you want to use the Nira and you know how often you want to use it, if it's every day of the week, you can go ahead and set that up on your tracker. Go ahead and check it off. Check off on your tracker what you want to do so that you can visually see, all right, I want to use this 7 days a week. Maybe it's a mask or an exfoliant, an acid like the May Love cream that I use 3 times a week. Go ahead and determine what it is that you want to track or what products you want to use and put it all on your habit tracker. That's what I do. And when you do it, just highlight that you did it, and then you know what to add up over the week. That way, it's a visual cue to tell you this is how often I need to do it for efficacy to get the results that I want, and then this is how much I did it. So you're kind of doing two things at once. You don't have to look back and think, well, how many times was I supposed to do it? That's how I help myself remember without having to read all the labels every time, because I forget. And once I do get in the routine of it, I don't always have to look, and then it just becomes a matter of checking it off. It's basically setting a habit. It's deciding that you want to incorporate something new into your life, and you're intentionally planning how you're going to do it by carving out time or identifying when you're going to do it in a day or a week or what have you. It is amazing how much something like this can prompt your action. The other thing is, as you're doing it, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you can assess how consistent you were and whether you're not seeing results because you aren't using it as much as you should, or you need to use it differently, you need to change your routine. All of these things are really helpful when you have it written down, and you don't really have to do a lot of the writing. Just decide what things you want to track and set it up, and then all you have to do is track it. And it kind of makes you feel good that you're organized and able to see that you're using the things you're buying, you're using the products, you're using the devices, and you're giving yourself the best chance to succeed and see the results. But whatever it is that you have that you want to track and you want to assess, you really want to get to a point where you say it's working or it's not working. I am going to track so many things using this tool. I encourage you to download it. It's free. Just go to my website, AnnEvolving.com. This tool is for you. So I recently made a video about a 10-step K-beauty regimen. You might want to watch that one next because it kind of goes through the products and the order of application that you would use them. If you want to add a step into your current routine or you want to revamp your entire routine, I think you'll enjoy it. You identify what you want to do this year with your skincare, how you're going to do it, and how you're going to track it. I hope these tips help. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Hi there, I'm Annie. I'm Ann, I'm 60, and I make videos for women over 50. Yeah.